La noche se acabó, pero tengo otra día contigo. Le doy gracias a Dios, siempre pasándolo contigo en la playa, devorarte como el sol de la mañana, viajando todo el día sin drama, solo tú y yo. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot pa' ti, un shot pa' mí, un shot. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot pa' ti, un shot pa' mí, un shot. Siempre lo pasamos bien lindo, lindo. Un verano contigo lindo, lindo. Ey. Me fui de vacaciones, baby, me perdí, buscando el sabor que encontré en ti. Canela con dolor de Bacardi, lo sentí. Baby, me tiene desenfocado, viendo doble, bien borracho, demasiado jodido. Contigo, pasándome contigo en la playa, devorarte como el sol de la mañana, viajando todo el día sin drama. Tú y yo, un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot pa' ti, un shot pa' mí, un shot. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot pa' ti, un shot pa' mí, un shot. Un día bonito, bonito, un día bonito, bonito. Pasándolo contigo en la playa, devorarte como el sol de la mañana, viajando todo el día sin drama, solo tú y yo. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot pa' ti, un shot pa' mí, un shot. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot pa' ti, un shot pa' mí, un shot. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot pa' ti, un shot pa' mí, un shot.
Hello, everyone. Can everyone hear me? This is a very impromptu podcast, and it's going to be a short one, but it's a doozy. It's going to be a doozy because, oh my goodness. You know, there was a tweet that went viral back in 2022 by a squaddy named Queen Meghan 14. And it said, one day we're going to talk about how, after being responsible for the attacks that pushed Meghan to the brink of suicide, Kate Middleton proceeded to steal her entire persona. Well, today's the day. Today's the day. My goodness. One in the chat if you can hear me, by the way. Just double checking. One in the chat if you can hear me. Well, I guess we all knew, but there were just certain pieces of the puzzle that were missing. You know, was it Kate with a burner account going through, Meghan's Instagram? Was it the courtiers? Was it her assistant? Was it William making her dress up as Meghan? It seems we have an answer. Shout out to the squaddies who managed to pick up on this. So, what has happened? What's happened is that Kate's assistant, who just stepped down, by the way, I touched upon this slightly in yesterday's podcast, just at the end, because it was breaking news as I was on. Kate's assistant stepped down. She's going to be starting her own firm. Her assistant slash stylist slash all the things person who puts up with the BS. It has now been allegedly revealed, allegedly for the lawyers listening, that Kate's stylist may have been following not just Meghan related accounts, but also Meghan's friends. Now, we say alleged because we don't know 100% for sure if this was her actual account. It has the Natasha Archer name, and also this luxury consultancy, and the word is that she's moved on to start a luxury consultancy. So people are assuming this is indeed her page. And also, this account has been following pro-Kate accounts. Anyway, let's read what Feminegra has to say. So, for years, royal watchers have debated whether Kate Middleton has been copying Meghan Sussex's wardrobe. Social media timelines filled with side-by-side images. Commentators flagged repeated overlaps in style, tone, and presentation. The palace stayed silent. The press framed it as a coincidence, but now an Instagram account allegedly belonging to Kate's longtime stylist may have pulled back the curtain. After news broke that Natasha Archer was leaving the royal household, an Instagram account believed to be hers switched from private to public. What followers noticed was striking. The account followed not only fashion pages tied to Meghan's style, but also several of Meghan's actual friends and collaborators. While the account's identity has not been officially verified, the overlap with Archer's known associations has fueled widespread speculation, and for those tracking fashion similarities, it feels like a confirmation. Disclaimer: while the Instagram account discussed in this article has not been independently confirmed as belonging to Natasha Archer, multiple royal watchers have noted its appearance, timing, and follow list following her reported departure from the Wells household. This article and this podcast presents public observations and commentary based on that information. Natasha Archer shaped the so-called Kate effect. And by the way, here's screenshots. Now, I actually I'm going to go back to it now before I continue reading that article. Let me just go back to it now. And let's have a look. Natasha Archer, and let me check. Is she still following Meghan? Or what she was following what Meghan wore? Okay, so she's no longer following what Meghan wore. She's not following that anymore. Is she still following? Let's see. She was following Delphia. No, she's no longer following. So she stopped following Meghan's real sister-in-law. She was also following Daniel. She stopped following Daniel. Let's also, who else was she following? Abigail Spencer. You can go, by the way. Okay, she's still following Abigail. I think that's Mandana. Let's have a look. She's no longer following Mandana. So the only Heather, let's check for Heather. She's still following Heather? She's no longer following Heather. So the only one she's still following is Abigail Spencer. So that's interesting that this so-called account linked to Kate was following all of Meghan's friends, her closest friends, Daniel and Delphina, and what Meghan wore, and Mandana, and Heather, and then she's no longer following any of them except for Abigail Spencer. Unbelievable. Truly unbelievable. These people don't have an original bone in their body. They are obsessed. And we know that they've been watching Meghan and stalking her. We know that they're obsessed with Meghan a million miles away. Because they're obsessed with getting rid of her. Oh, she's also following Emma Grade. They're obsessed with following everything she does, everything she puts out. Oh, she's following Earthshot. Let's see who else. Anyone else? See, she's following any of Meghan's haters. She's following Gwyneth Paltrow, friend of Meghan. Who else? Okay, can't see anyone else noteworthy, but it just tells you everything, doesn't it? Oh, okay, back to the article. Natasha Archer shaped the so-called Kate effect. Natasha joined the royal household in 2010 and helped build what became known as the so-called Kate effect. She styled Kate through a decade of high-profile events, foreign tours, and photo ops. Archer guided Kate from her early years as William's fiancée to her role as the mother of a future king. Her eye for conservative polish and British heritage brands became a template for modern royal dressing. Until, of course, Meghan arrived. And that so-called modern royal dressing, I mean, it wasn't really that modern, was it? Mary Poppins cosplay, I call it. By 2022, Archer's role expanded well beyond fashion. She became the senior private executive assistant to both William and Kate. It's mighty interesting that she's stuck around for so long, because William and Kate notoriously have a revolving door of staff. And if you actually look at the ones who stay, it's the likes of Jason Knopf. And we all know what the likes of Jason Knopf are willing to do to stay around. So what's Natasha been up to? Managing not only wardrobe, but also calendars and event planning. She was deeply involved in every aspect of her public image. Her contributions earned her a Royal Victorian Order for personal service to the Crown. Her departure in 2025 marked the end of a tightly controlled era in the Wales household. And it's interesting that she's leaving now when there's so much talk about the Wales marriage. But Archer influence extended further than Kensington Palace admitted. According to Finding Freedom, royal aides said Meghan's arrival felt like a rocket and prompted major shifts. Kate's team encouraged her to become more active in engagements. Her fashion also began to shift. Gone were the coat dresses and tights, in came pantsuits, structured tailoring, and monochrome neutrals. The evolution looked familiar. It looked like Meghan. The Instagram follows say everything. When Archer unlocked her Instagram account, users quickly noticed something odd. She wasn't just following royal commentators or general fashion pages. Archer follows What Meghan Wore, a fan archive dedicated to Meghan's outfits. She also followed Daniel Martin, Abigail Spencer, Mandana, Diani, Delphina Blaqueur, sorry if I've said Delphina's name wrong, and Heather Dorak. These aren't just names, they're Meghan's real life friends. And as I've just shown you, and if you go to her Instagram account yourself, it's just Natasha Archer. She has unfollowed everyone except for Abigail Spencer. Fans have always suspected the royal household pays close attention to Meghan's every move. Archer's Instagram follows prove it. To observers, this didn't look like casual interest, it looked like research. Yes, because Meghan's friends also occasionally post about her. The same people who helped Meghan craft her personal style were being watched closely by the woman responsible for curating Kate's image. That matters because it shows the fashion shift wasn't just inspired, it was informed. Archer's timeline, once private, revealed the very sources that may have guided Kate's updated style. This is how modern image making works. Stylists track trends, monitor feedback, and adapt accordingly. But when that adaptation directly mirrors somebody else's signature look, it becomes something else entirely. Copying patterns have been public for years. Meghan wore a white pantsuit. Kate would wear an almost identical look sometime later. Meghan paired camel toes with modern tailoring. Kate followed with the same palette and silhouettes not long after. Meghan styled wide leg trousers, sleek belts, and dark turtlenecks. Kate picked up the formula and wore it to school visits and charity events. Even in evening wear, the parallels hold. Meghan wore a turquoise one-shoulder gown by Christopher John Rogers to the NAACP Image Awards. Kate appeared in a near match 1 year later at the Eurovision Song Contest. Meghan was mocked for her low buns and structured fascinators. Kate adopted both, and the media applauded her for the same hairstyle. Commentators can argue coincidence, but timing tells a different story. And just so we're clear, because I don't want anybody listening to this and thinking, oh, this is just petty, this is about clothes. Mirroring is a form of obsessive behavior. It is one of the early indicators of somebody that's trying to destiny swap, destiny block, monitoring spirits. This isn't, you know, just funny. Oh, she wore a coat that Meghan wore. Hardy ha ha ha. Like, it's actually serious. Yeah, she was definitely cleaning up her page, for sure. And the utter stupidity to not clean it up before you decided to make it go public. So now we know that it's got to be her page. Meghan set the standard and Kate followed. When Meghan stepped into the royal spotlight, she redefined what it meant to be a duchess. She dressed with purpose. Her clothes were statements. Her presence was transformative. Archer and Kensington Palace saw the impact and moved quickly to adapt. The alleged Archer Instagram appeared to follow Meghan's closest friends and fashion sources. Kate's shift in style was no coincidence. It was to stay relevant, stay light, and to stay in step with public taste. But what these people don't understand is it's not the fabric on your body. It's what's in your heart and soul. That's what radiates, especially in this modern era. And if you want your style to have an impact, what's inside has to matter also. People don't just copy Meghan because she looks good. It's her whole persona plus the clothes. The clothes is just an expression of everything else. The clothes are an expression of a woman who is authentic, who is kind, who stands up for other women, who is an advocate for others, who always has been, who is a businesswoman, who is an entrepreneur, who is a mother, who is a friend. People buy into the person and the persona. The style is just an extension of that. There are many celebrities who dress very well. We don't follow all of them because it's not just about how they look. There's something about their persona that you buy into. It was okay, so the irony couldn't be richer. According to Prince Harry's spare, Kate was reluctant to share her fashion contacts with Meghan, as if Meghan didn't have her own. Yet her own team later mirrored Meghan's entire style playbook. The palace can never replicate authenticity. Amen. Meghan's wardrobe came from who she is. Amen. Kate's came from a team trying to keep it up. That difference is now public, and no amount of palace PR can undo what Archer's Instagram follows made plain, and what her unfollows, if that is actually her account, also make plain. Wow. Just wow. I'll go to your comments because I think that article summed it up very well. Just give me 1 sec, folks. Just need to do something on the back end before I go to your comments. Okay. I mean, she'll have plenty of clients for her so-called luxury firm, I'm sure. Plenty in that, or that Aristo set. Oh, you worked for Kate. Sure, we'll hire you. Thank you to Kevon Slims for the super chat. Maybe she's friends with Meghan. I doubt it. I doubt it. Gwendolyn, you said if she could copy Harry, she'll do that also. Yeah, she could create a copy of Harry and marry the copy instead of being married to William. I mean, this is what it looks like when you don't have a sense of self as a woman. And it's actually very sad. You are a whole future queen and you don't have a sense of self. But you see, that's the problem. They put everything on their titles. All of their sense of self comes from these titles. All of their self-validation comes from these titles. So they never actually feel like they have to do anything authentic or meaningful, because the society is built around you have the titles, you're going to get the respect, you're going to get people bowing down to you, or at least that's how it was. That's not where we're going moving forward. So now what do? The time when William and Kate could have done that, it's now gone. We're still here in 2025. These people are nearing in their 40s, and we're talking about how they're keening and how they're planning on change and this, that, and the third at the age of 40. I mean, you can restart, rebuild, grow, evolve at any age, of course. But when you have lived in the lap of luxury and had everything fed to you on a silver spoon, William especially, literally fed with a golden spoon, actually, encrusted with diamonds. When you've had all of that, there's no excuse to be at this age and still be talking about you're evolving and you're learning. There's no excuse. You've had all of the privilege. It would be a whole different matter if it was just an ordinary person who didn't literally have a head start. I think there's so much more that's going to come out about this in years to come. In years to come, yeah, there's a lot that's going to come out. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Okay, folks, I said it was going to be a short podcast. It is 1:30 a.m. in the morning in the UK, and I've got to be up and somewhere early tomorrow, but just wanted to do a quick poddy. Thank you so much for dropping by. A couple of people have said that you're not getting notifications. Try unsubbing, subscribing again, and then hitting the notification button again. That usually does it. I am sorry. I don't always even know if I'm going to be able to come on. And I don't want to disappoint people, keep you waiting. And that's why nowadays I tend to just schedule podcasts once I finished everything and I know that I'm good to go. If, at times where I know maybe I can definitely do a podcast, I will try and schedule ahead of time, but it's just going to have to be like this for now. But appreciate you showing up, as always, when you can show up to a live. Otherwise, shout out to the replay gang, and I will see you guys later. Ciao.